up? It's your girl, LaTesa Lynch. You are tuned in right now on Latest with LaTesa podcast. I have a special guest with me here today. He's a social media influencer, Fisk University basketball player, and we're going to learn, where everything started. So go ahead and let us know who you are, and then the magic happens.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, they call me Miguel, man, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm ready to tap in, ready to get the story out. We got a lot to talk about today.
I'm happy you here. He got a new tattoo, y'all. So
hey, man, y'all got to forgive me. Forgive me, y'all. I was running a little bit behind today, but we had a lot of things going. But I'm just ready to get started and have a blast for real.
Okay, well, when I do interviews, I do an icebreaker. So this is just so calm you down a little bit, get you in your mood.
Yeah.
So this icebreaker, since you have played basketball before, it's going to be called This or That Basketball Edition.
I'm lit. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Okay. So this or that, LeBron James or Kevin Durant?
I'm gonna take KD. Everybody kind of know I don't really like LeBron for real.
You don't like LeBron?
I'm a type of guy. I'm a Lakers fan. So if we went over my tattoos, I got the Lakers tattooed on my leg, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm the type of guy to really say like we never needed LeBron in the first place. That's just me though. Look, I might get a lot of hate for that, but like I don't even mess with KD for real.
Dang.
But I take KD over LeBron for like you
over
know what I'm saying?
LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This or that, Steph Curry or Carmelo Anthony?
That's tough. And it's supposed to be icebreaker. I feel like. I play basketball. I like scoring though. I like Carmelo because I like his mentality, but I also feel like Steph Curry is more of how I play for real.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go Steph on this one.
Especially I feel like Steph is more celebrity.
Yeah.
Based. Carmelo Anthony, you always see him in uniform, basketball, all that good stuff. So I love basketball because my brother loves it. So I know a little song.
That's lit for sure.
Okay, this or that, Dwight Howard or Derrick Rose?
I'm from Chicago, so I'm gonna go with Derrick Rose. I'm gonna go with Derrick Rose for sure. But Dwight, it's all love, baby.
Okay, two more. Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan?
No, it's always, this ain't even a question for real. It's going to be Kobe Bryant to the death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's one of my biggest influences, so yeah.
All right, this is the last one. Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook?
I'm going to take Russ every time.
Russ.
Even though the unpopular opinion is really Russ and everybody's going to go with AD. AD ain't never healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's built like a bag of bread. So I just... I'm going to go with Russ on this one, even though he's inefficient. That's my guy.
I think? I think you should do a basketball podcast because you know so much about every athlete.
I've been... hey, this is why I'm here. Because truth be told, I had a guy... I was hooping at a local gym, right? Uh-huh. I had a guy that was in his 40s. We got to chopping it up, and he was like, I'm starting my own podcast, a sport podcast. I want to get you on there. Tell me why. He was like, I got his number. This how life is funny. Uh-huh. He was like, yeah, we're going to link up this Saturday. Not this Saturday, y'all, but we're going to link up this Saturday. We're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
He got all the equipment, I'm like, okay, cool. The Saturday comes, and he sends out a group message and was like, yeah, guys, I know I wanted to do the podcast, but I ended up moving to Texas. I'm like, okay. So I didn't really know how to respond. I just kind of said, hey, good luck and best endeavors type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But no, I get hit with that a lot though. You know what I'm saying? I should do like a podcast or like a sport podcast. For sure.
I think this is a good opportunity for you to get that podcast vibe because if this was him, I feel like this is the type of conversation that y'all would have had about basketball.
Yeah, I love the game for real. It saved my life. So you know what I'm saying? I'm always about making sure that I'm hip and I'm knowledgeable what's going on for real.
Right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned about life because people don't know that you're from Chicago because you've been here since you've been 17.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about the transition from Chicago to here because that's a big difference.
It's a big difference. In Chicago, man, it's its own little community, its own country, it's its own thing. Like when you go out there, like being born and raised from Chicago, you move different. Like when you meet, it's almost like when I first came here and people got to meet me, they can tell. It's just a different type of environment, how you move. One of the best quotes when I was maybe 12, one of this, an OG or older guy that, dropped out of high school. He was on our block though. Bro was like, hey, whatever you do, keep your head on a swivel. Otherwise you're going to get hit with that nickel. For those that don't know what that means, it just means that when you're moving around in Chicago, especially in the inner city, even in the burbs to some degree, if you're not careful, right? If you're not vigilant, if you don't pay attention, it can happen to anybody. And as you can tell by the crime rate, and a lot of innocent lives get lost because people aren't aware or they're unaware of their surroundings or they don't move correctly. So it's a different type of environment being from Chicago. But it's definitely made me who I am today, for real.
Yeah. Were you sad about leaving?
Yeah, I was. I feel like I really got pride for real, you know?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, like, I mean, you meet people, you know, everybody's met people from, you know, from different states, all types of stuff on trips, or they come, you know, tourists, all that type of stuff, right? And I've always had a real sense of, like, I'm from Chicago. Like, Chicago for real. Like, I'm the third largest city, right? You know, and we got all this culture. So, you know, I always had pride. I never really wanted to leave, but it's one of those situations where being from Chicago, like, a lot of guys that are either on the west side, east side, or south side, like, you kind of, like, you're a product of your environment and you stay in that environment, right? A lot of people don't even leave their block or they don't leave their side for real, you know? I know people that from the south side ain't never gone to the west side for real. I know people from the west side ain't never gone to the south side for real, even if they got family over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I knew that if I didn't get out, you know what I'm saying, I probably would have got lost in the system. It almost happened though, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like... The way life goes is always unpredictable, right? And not everybody gets the same amount of opportunities, right? And I remember, like, when I was coming up, when I was like a senior in high school, like, I just remember I felt like my opportunities were running out though. I used to get in trouble. Like, I was a good kid for real.
But you used to get in trouble.
Yeah, like look, I was one of them kids, like, you know, I cracked jokes. I was funny.
Yeah.
But I really look like Steve Urkel for real, if we kept it a band. Yeah. I look like...
You got to send me a picture.
Nah, I got that joint. I got you. Nah, for real. But I used to look like Steve Urkel for real, and I felt like, even though, like, you know, everybody had different social dynamics in school, right? And I felt like I had I had charisma, I had everything that I have today. I felt like a lot of times I used to get overshadowed. I felt like a lot of people, you know, didn't give me a chance or an opportunity to be myself and be truly who I was. And when I was young, I used to try to make jokes, but I used to find myself always getting in trouble for the jokes that I made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So were they like offensive jokes?
Nah, like okay, I'll give you an example, like how life go. Like, in Chicago, like, it's snow for real, right?
Yeah.
So during, like, and they're never gonna tell you to stay at home. So no matter, I don't care how many inches you done got, how much snow's on the ground, just wait a couple hours. They're gonna get some salt trucks out there. You going back to school. You going to school for real. You feel me? And, you know, I was one of those kids that, like, I be like going to the bus and get hit with a snowball. Everybody laughing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I pick up a snowball, throw it, I have bad aim, end up hitting the bus driver. Ooh. Now I'm suspended from school for like 5 days. Like, I was always unlucky type for real. You know? But I ended up, truth be told, I ended up getting kicked out. Like, I ended up getting kicked out of, like, high school, like, my freshman year, for real.
You just bad.
Not bad for real, but, like, I had threatened. I had, like, a story, and this, hey, all the kids out there, you know what I'm saying, stay in school. Follow directions, and really take it serious though, because it could take you somewhere for real. Yeah. So when I say this, I'm not saying this, you know what I'm saying, so that y'all just go out there and do whatever. I'm saying this because this is real life type. Right. You feel me? I got kicked out of school because I had an altercation with my teacher. It was like, you know, I was trying to make jokes. You know, I finally thought I had the class laughing. And she was funny though. She was slick. She was my English teacher, and she was like, "Yeah, I know. I love how it's so funny. But what's not funny is your grade." And she puts my grade, look. She puts my, no, it's true story. She puts my grade, like, back when we had overheads. I feel like I'm old, but maybe I'm not that old. She puts my grade on the overhead. I got, like, I'm keeping it band. I had like a 66. I had like an F.
Oh, man.
Right? Now, granted.
Exposed the kid.
Exposed me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm the punchline. So, you know, I got nothing else to say, but I'm pissed off. Like, she ain't never just...
Yeah,
Shorty ain't
do you like that.
Shorty ain't never just put it out there like that. You feel me? I didn't even know for real that I was out feeling that bad. You know what I'm saying? So when she put it out there, like, I really didn't know what to say, but I knew, she a teacher for real. Yeah. I just said, like, look, and this is why I say I always felt like I just got put in unlucky, because I thought about what I was gonna say, and I still got in trouble for it. I told her, I said, hey, you act like we don't know where, like, your car is though. Like, like, you drive a Honda Civic and it's blue. Like we know where you park. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know your
like,
kids...
we can do real damage.
Right.
Like,
we know your kids go to church.
To.
Now, granted, I'm saying this to say, like, kids, like I said, though, go to school for the right reasons and pay attention to class, because it can take you somewhere. But I will say, when I told her that, like, I just want her to know, like, nah, you thought you was funny, but, like, it's real out here. Yeah. She not, obviously, she live in the burbs somewhere, but... next you know, she clicks that little, I don't know if y'all remember, there's a little black button. You know, anybody from the city, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a little black button they press. And when you press that black button, there's a red button and a black button. If they press the red button, the dean's gonna come. They press the black button, something for real, then when happen, they're gonna call. It's straight officers coming. So she pressed the black button, and I ended up getting, like, expelled for, like, threatened to kill my teacher. But I
wow.
kids out there. No, that's not. I never thought that would happen, but it happened for real. And I got sent to the alternative school, but it was an eye opener because it let me know like who was really bad for real. Like I thought I was bad. I wasn't bad for real. I was scared. I went to alternative school. I was scared for real.
Cause them kids in there, they do some real damage.
I'm like at the time, y'all gotta realize I'm like 5, maybe 5'3". I'm tiny for real. I'm tiny for real.
Them alternative schools.
You know, so we get there, you know what I'm saying? I got guys biting desks, you know what I'm saying? Chewing on pencils, you know what I'm saying? Headbutting lockers, fighting police officers.
Yeah.
Like they the real gangsters for real. I had my mishaps, you feel me? I didn't feel like I belonged, but hey, everybody need their time to adjust and to learn from the mistakes, right?
So Miguel, is that when you change your life around?
Yeah, look. Truth be told. So, shout out to, I ain't gonna name names, but shout out to the vice principal. We had a meeting the next year, and they let me come back to school. But look, they let me come back to school. But in order to come back to school, there was stipulations, right? The stipulation was I had to do like a military program.
Okay.
Like it was supposed to be able to control my anger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like that was the stipulation. I had to do it all 4 years. It wasn't just a one-time thing.
Okay.
Like I had to do it all 4 years. And that was, I obviously I didn't go to the military, but you know what I'm saying? It taught me a lot though, for real. I did that, you know what I'm saying, going on until I finished school. But when I was 17, life continues to happen. Like I was explaining. I think these are all character builder moments, if that makes any sense.
Right.
These are all things that are gearing me to be successful, gearing me to be the person I am today, right?
Right, yeah.
So when I'm 17, I'm going through school and I have this like transformation period where like I woke up one day, it sounds crazy, but I woke up one day and I looked myself in the mirror and I didn't like the person that I see. And I feel like for a lot of people out there, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe not when that happened for me, but it happens to majority of America, majority of the world, where like they come to the realization at some form like they're not happy with their life, and it's called a midlife crisis, right?
Midlife crisis,
right?
Okay.
But for me, like I didn't feel like I was having a midlife crisis, but I felt like I was honest enough to realize that I didn't like how I was being viewed. I didn't like the perception of who I was. I didn't like the opportunities that was afforded to me. I felt like I didn't always get the fair shake.
Yeah.
But I had asked myself, it's called and I had to really look at
self-awareness,
self-reflection. The self-reflection is really big in like my process because it allowed me to like realize if I'm in the wrong. And you gotta understand, like I'm not just getting suspended. I'm not getting in trouble for nothing. You feel me? Like I'm a part of this as well. I looked at myself in the mirror that day and I was like, man, I don't like the way I'm being viewed. I don't like the way I'm saying I'm looking out here for real.
Yeah.
And I need to suit up for real. I need to change.
I'm glad you did change.
Yeah, and that's how I started hooping for real.
Yeah.
It was a promise that I made to myself, but it was a promise that I really made to my mother. Like I felt like she felt like I was slipping away type. You know what I mean? Like I was on my way to really be in the streets for real. And I wanted, but I didn't want that for myself because I knew that I was smarter. I always knew. This is what I was telling you. I always knew, but like that I had an act for doing something. I just didn't know what it was yet. But I always found myself in precarious situations. Well, you know what I'm saying? So when I started hooping, that's why I said basketball saved my life for real. Because when I started playing basketball, it really separated me from just being on the block or just walking around the streets all day, and getting in trouble. Like I locked in, and even though I was trash for real,
I wouldn't say trash.
No.
I would say you were decent. I've seen your videos. I've seen,
Nah, and that's love. Hey,
I just seen a little score here and there. Not a 3-pointer, but
Nah, I appreciate that. That's love. But I want to say something to all the kids out there. Like this is what I talk about when I'm saying like you got to chase the dream for real. You gotta have self-reflection. You gotta know who you are for real. You gotta know what you're looking for and what you're trying to aspire to. I never knew that basketball would take me where it took me, but it took me there. But I had to lock in and focus for it. And I had to ask myself, is this something I really see myself doing?
Right.
And I had to fall in love with the process. There was times where like I said, I told myself I didn't want to be in the streets. I told myself that I wanted a better life for myself, that I didn't want to become a statistic, right? But when I was in the gym, like there was times, like I'll be honest, I'm 16 years old. I'm like, I find walking in the gym, I was so garbage. And I'm being honest though, y'all, I'm so garbage. I'm 16. I ain't never played basketball before. You got to realize.
Yeah.
So anybody out there, just think about that. I ain't never picked up a basketball. Like I ain't never did nothing. I ain't never shot hoops, nothing. Right? I didn't even call it basketball. I should call it shooting hoops back then. So they wouldn't even let me on the court. So I used to just sit there every day.
On the bench.
So after school, I get out of school, I just go to the community center and just sit there. And just sit there for like hours and watch them play. And then when they leave, it'd be like 7 o'clock when folks leave, the community, community center.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for like till like the last 2 hours, and I just practiced on my game.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time, but that's how I started spending a lot of time alone, realizing what I really want out of life though, because I ain't really had nobody for real.
Yeah.
I was really like a loner for real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it ain't no sad story like a loner. It was more so like I felt like really early on I realized that people wasn't on what I was on. Like I give you an example. Like granted, basketball, I wasn't on a high school team. I didn't play middle school. I didn't play pee-wee. I didn't play I didn't do none of that. So when I was working on my game, like folks thought I was crazy for real. Cause I'm almost 18. I'm almost grown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm almost grown and I ain't never played for real. But I'm trying to take this serious, trying to join the team, all that. You know.
But they weren't trying to take you serious.
I knew. Look, they didn't take me serious at all. They laughed. And that's okay, though. Yeah. But I knew. Like, I don't want to explain it to you. It's like an inner feeling that you got to know.
Yeah.
It's a self-belief in yourself that, like, okay, if I put my mind to this, I'm going to make this happen.
Regardless of what anybody has to say.
Right,
regardless of your circumstances, your past,
regardless.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And that's when I used to record myself, but this is back when... That's how I sound old. This is back when Vine had just started.
I remember, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is back when Vine had just started. For those who don't know what Vine is, it was like the old social media platform.
Yeah, it's like TikTok, but like
6-second videos.
Yeah.
And so when Vine was going, I actually made a Vine account, and all I would do was upload like my practice videos.
Yeah.
When I did that, eventually, like, they caught on, and I actually, like, getting, like, a little following on Vine. That's how the social media started. That's how I started for real. It wasn't just so I can get famous off doing funny stuff. I wasn't doing anything funny. I was just posting my basketball clips. Mm-hmm. I ended up building a following because people, like, see me chasing the dream, and that's kind of, I was like, man, like, I guess there's other people out here that relate to what I got going on for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then Vine died, and then I had, I'm in the middle of my senior year. Tried out for the Bible team. I didn't make it, but I kept practicing, staying out of trouble. I knew that I was going through some hard times in my household, you know?
Yeah.
And things kind of went left for me, and I ended up being homeless type.
Really?
So, yeah. And I hope I'm not skipping the process, or I'm not skipping the story for real. It's just so much to talk about, you know what I mean? And it's so real to me. I can see it, but, you know, I'm trying to explain it to somebody who's never seen it before,
right. Somebody
who's never lived it before. You know, if we pause that story real quick, and I don't mean to jump around, we can do what we do, but the problems, like, I felt like everything's a storyline, right?
Yeah.
So the transformation of my life and me becoming a better person is a storyline. Me playing basketball and where I ended up with basketball is a storyline. The lifestyle of the struggle and making it is a storyline. So if we take the lifestyle and the struggle, and we talk about that real quick, and just kind of how I got to, like, when I'm 17. When I was younger, I'm from the system for real. So for those who don't know what the system is, it's foster care. I kind of knew my mom, like my mom, I call her my mom, but like my mom, you know, I got 3 older sisters. 2 of us, there's three of us that are adopted out of 4 of us. I got 3 older sisters than me, so that makes 4. And 3 of us, you know what I'm saying, are adopted for real. I didn't find out until I was like, probably like, I didn't really pay attention till I was 13, but my mom was like, she was very like meticulous about stuff. Like she'd be like, it'd be like my 9th birthday, and she'd be like, yeah, you only got like, I don't know, like 7 more years till you 18, and things gonna change. Like
she just kept saying that.
Yeah, like, so every birthday, every birthday, y'all, is like 8, 9, 10, 11, shit just kind of down. So like if I was 11, she'd be like 7. If I was 12, she'd be like, you know what I'm saying, like until I get to 18. And she always doing, I never understood what she was really saying. She said, things gonna change. I really gotta tell y'all something. I really gotta tell y'all the story. My sister, my middle sister though, she was never going for it for real. She just kind of like, she was like, I'm gonna find out. I feel like something's off, and she ended up finding out. But I was like 16 when she was like 18 when she found out, and my mom waited till everybody was 18. But I never got my story because I was gone at 18. But this goes back into what I was saying. So I find out I'm really in the system for real, and I don't know my parents to this day. I don't really know. I don't know nothing.
It be hard for your foster mom because she didn't want to tell you, but it's like that's something that she knew that you needed to know.
Yeah, and I feel that. I think I felt like she always was going to tell us, but I just felt like.
You think she should have waited to tell you that you were?
No, I think honestly, the earlier you tell a kid, the better, because I feel like they don't live in a false reality, and I feel like their mind is still able to develop and mold. And I think that if you tell somebody when they're already set in their ways, though, they might look at you a little differently because you done waited so long and they didn't thought this for so long, though. This is what they know. But if you tell a kid, like, and I'm granted, I'm not here to tell, parents or anybody what they need to be doing, you feel me? That's the.
But that would have worked best for you to know that you were in foster care before you got to the age where you found out.
Not even for real. I'm going to say something that I feel like most people don't say. Are we allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah.
I just want to ask that. I don't want to disrespect nobody's platform. I feel like I really don't give a fuck for real.
Yeah.
I really don't care for real. Like I don't know them folks for real. I don't know those people for real. I felt like, the only thing I know about my story is they found me in a trash can. Mm-hmm. I mean, and if it was that dire, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you don't need to know me for real. I mean, that's just me though. The only thing that I ever thought, and not just me being honest, the only thing that I ever thought when it comes to looking for my real parents is, do they look like me? That's it. But I feel like that's generalistic. And I feel like most people, if they was in that situation, would feel that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people do have like a deeper connection or want to know why and all this other stuff. In this life, especially in my life, and all the stuff that I didn't been through, I stopped asking why.
Yeah.
I stopped asking why. You know what I'm saying? You had your reasons. You feel me? And I got my reasons. So why I don't go looking for you. But yeah, my story is they found me in like a trash can or whatever. Took me to the system, and then my mom, you know what I'm saying, she ended up adopting us all or whatever. And I appreciate her for that greatly. But like I do feel like my mother, she's her own character though, and I think that we didn't always see eye to eye.
Is she in Chicago?
Yeah, my whole family's in Chicago. The only person that stay out here is me. But
really? That's
facts.
what's up. I'm the only one out here too.
Yeah. So like, but it's one of those things where like, not to jump around y'all, but it's like when it was time to go, like I bet on myself. Like I didn't. It was like that movie. Like you ever seen that movie where that kid like he not gonna get told no. He not gonna stop believing. And if he's willing to put his life on the line for what he believe in, I thought I got to a point where I wanted to fly. I'll give an example. I wanted to hoop for real. I wanted to join the Bible team. My mom was like, you need to focus on grades. Like any parent, respectful, right? Get my grades up, now it's time to go play basketball. She, nah. I felt like me and my mom have a disagreement on like the way I kind of like came up a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt like she took a little bit of like my life from me. I don't feel like I really had a childhood for real, which is why I feel like I'm so authentic, so real now.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have like a...
You don't have anything holding you back, telling you can't do something.
Right, because I felt like I spent years of my life like...
being in this box that she wanted you
to
do and say.
Look, if we gonna talk, let's talk for real, okay? I'm gonna tell people what they probably ain't never heard for real. When I was coming up, there was no going outside for real. Like there was no hey your neighbors or your friends come, they knock on your door. Remember, like they used to knock on your door, say can he come outside or can she come outside? Nah, my mom was so funny about it. Like folks knock on my door, like niggas knock on my door. She be standing behind the door, and like so I open the door and they be like, yo, hey Miguel, you come outside. And I be like, I can clearly see my mother. And it was that intimidation factor of like, nah, you're not going nowhere. So I'd be like, nah, I can't come out. I spent years of my life like that. I didn't have a cell phone until I turned 17 and I bought my own cell phone. So like I didn't live on. I had no way to connect to the outside world when I leave school. What I used to do is if I could watch TV, I watch TV. If I couldn't watch TV for real, I didn't have my own TV, so I just stay in my room. That's where like the thought process of like who I want to be. That's why I found out so early who I was, because all I had was time. My mom, like her rules was like this. For the kids that don't know, they got all this freedom. You couldn't put posters up. I lived in a room where it was nothing but white walls, a bed, you know what I'm saying, in the picture. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want anybody to show any type of individuality or any type of personality. I never really got to express myself. And I felt like I spent, and anybody from the city, you know what I'm saying, y'all know what I'm talking about for real. I can guarantee you that if we called anybody that I knew or grew up with, they could never tell you that, you know what I'm saying, they got experiences of me like during the summertime, like me as a kid, like at all. Like I couldn't sit there and tell you a story of me going, like getting on the bikes with my guys and saying we did something, or me going to play basketball with the guys. Nah, like if it wasn't going to and I didn't start going to community. Remember, I'm 16.
Right.
I don't start hooping until I'm 16. So from zero, so when the time I get adopted to the time I'm 16, when I get off from school, I go to my room and I just write. Yeah. I just look at I write and I look out the window, and it sounds crazy to most people. Yeah. It was crazy to me, but because I used to always think like, man, like this ain't right. Like I felt like my social skills were off a little bit.
Yeah.
For real.
Do you think she was maybe afraid that you was going to figure out that you was adopted?
I say this, and I said this early on the podcast, it's like, with me always, I was a smart kid that used to get in trouble. That was my thing, right? I was always intellectually up here, but I used to always find myself in predicaments, right?
Right, yeah.
And I think that she was so scared that she would lose me to the streets that she didn't let me go into the streets at all. And I think, I'm not, as I got older, I'm not mad that happened, but I'm saying that there was a different way we could have did that.
Yeah.
And I felt like it took away from a lot of my childhood and my passion, because I always felt like, what if I would have played when I was like 5 or 6? Yeah. What if I would have had those experiences? Maybe I wouldn't be so rough now. Maybe I wouldn't be so determined or hard now, because I live a real life.
And then you said in Chicago, it was a lot of like violence and stuff like that. And I'm thinking as a black mother with a black son, I know, like you said, she could have handled it different, which she should have. But I'm thinking she was looking at it like, okay, I don't want to introduce him to anything that could like alter his mindset in a negative way, like the posters and all that stuff. But she could have done it a different way. I think if anything, you deserve just a normal childhood.
And I want to say this, man. We don't get on podcasts. We don't get to talking. We don't just. I'm not here to spread negativity about, you know what I'm saying, the way I was raised.
Yeah, this is your story.
I'm just telling the truth. You know what I'm saying. And people can choose to believe it or don't gotta believe it. But I'm just telling my truth. When I fast forward, like, it just. When I was like 13, it got to the point where I was just like, I just told her, like, you can send me back to the system for real. I was at a point, because I had so much self-belief that no matter what happened, no matter what disagreements we might have for what she wanted for my life, my mother wanted me to be a pastor for real. Truth be told. Hey, y'all. She wanted me to be a pastor.
Really?
Yeah. Truth be told. She wanted me to be a pastor for real. And I want to say this to the kids out there. There's nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with,
But that wasn't your passion.
That wasn't who I was, but she was trying to make me something that I wasn't. I feel like that happens a lot with parents, though, for real.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And so at 13, I ended up running away. Kids, don't run away. But I'm saying, though, I ended up dipping one time. Like, I used to get beat for real. And I'm not here to have that conversation, but I'm just saying. And it was a day I just wasn't feeling it, and I was, my mom, you gotta understand, I'm small for real. So it's not like, even though I'm a boy, even though I'm a man now, when I was younger, like, my mom's like 5'10", and I was like 5'2", 5'3".
You were smaller, yeah.
I didn't, I was scared for real sometimes. And I always used to feel like I shouldn't feel scared. But I dipped one time, and they called the peoples, whatever, and I told the people, I was like, nah, like, they asked you, like, oh, so what do you want to do? Like, they try to scare you and be like, oh, so you want to go, you really just, they think of you as like, kid, you don't know what you want, you don't know what you, so that was like, so we meet up, they finally find me. I had slept outside for 3 days. This is important because that's when I first realized that my will to survive, my will to want to make it. This is 13. So I slept behind like a church and some pine cone trees in like February. And I remember waking up, and it was like, I woke up because I was shivering, and I had icicles attached to my nostrils and my hair. And I was like, yeah, I'm out here for real.
Yeah.
But when I realized that I was willing to go through that, that's when I realized that nothing was gonna stop me from getting to where I wanted to go.
Yep.
And so when they finally picked me up, the cops or the people, they finally picked me up, they take me back. We had a little conversation. I just told them, I was like, nah, like, y'all can take me back to the system. They didn't listen. They said, nah, he don't know what he want for real. They put me back with my mother, shot it to her. And, years go by, and it keeps getting worse and worse. And I ended up like 17. I couldn't take it no more. Hey, y'all, if you ever in a situation, man, like, you ever in a situation where you just feel like you're not being treated correctly, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to say enough's enough. It's okay to be like, nah. And I'm not, the problem is that you start thinking to yourself, like, nah, I gotta go through it. Like, I'm a man. Like, I'm a dude. I ain't, like, fuck this for real.
Yeah,
like, I could do this.
You can deal.
Or I could do this for real. But I mean, it was time, like, I remember what really broke my heart, what really broke me, like, inside, was when, I remember one time I went to school, and I had got, I did something, and it's probably my fault what I did, I ain't gonna lie, but it wasn't nothing crazy. I knew that for sure. And she called me downstairs, and I ended up getting beat with an iron for real. And the iron was hot. She was iron, so when I got beat with the iron, and I had the print on my back. And I remember when I went to school, I had bent over to grab something, and the nigga seen he seen the iron print on my back, and he's like, and it became like a joke to everybody. but it broke my heart for real.
Yeah.
'Cause I was really going through it. I was really heartbroken. I really was crying for help for real.
Yeah.
You know? But I want to say this to my mother, like you were raised like how she was raised and how in the generation I was raised in, obviously it's a little different. Mm-hmm. And I can see it in the people that are younger than me.
Yeah.
It's different now, right? So I just feel like, you know, like I said to you earlier, a lot of things could have been handled differently. Mm-hmm. You know? But we fast forward, you know, 17, I just walk. I walk. My Vine is blowing up. I'm getting better at basketball. I said, man, forget this. If I could survive 3 days, I can survive. Yeah. So I'm still going to school. People don't even know this for real. I'm going to school. I'm still I'm a senior in high school. I'm homeless though for real. But I started to notice that I said these things. I had these quotes that they're called real, authentic, and true. Right? These are my life models, things that I live by. Being real, being authentic, and being true. This comes from because, you know, I knew that I was leaving. Like, I knew that I couldn't stay in Chicago. I knew that I would have probably got caught up in the streets and become a statistic, right? I'm homeless. I'm working at Wendy's. I'm going to school, smelling like burgers and fries for real. You know, I like I told you earlier, I didn't like the perception of how people viewed me. I wasn't really messing with it for real. You know, I didn't feel like I was kind of like more timid.
Yeah. I
didn't really fight for my respect for real. And I just felt like, man, like if I want to really live my life, I gotta, you know, if I'm homeless, living a real life, or I'm 17, I'm sleeping next to bums for real. Like sleeping and that's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you the nitty and gritty. Like I was out there like sleeping in like little playgrounds and stuff. And you when you get out there, you start seeing everything. I'm 17.
Yeah.
I'm seeing just, you know, I'm seeing them snort right next to me. You know, you wake up sometimes. You wake, you clutch your bag or whatever you got, your book bag. I'm still going to school, so I got a book bag with me all the time. So I'm sleeping. I sleep on my book bag. You know, sometimes you wake up and some of the stuff you see, like it's traumatizing for real. You know, you seeing people shoot up right next to you, and you realize how quickly that could become you. You know what I'm saying? When you lose faith and you lose hope. You know what I mean? So
I knew you had the mindset, like, I got to do better.
I got to do better. I got to get up out of here. I can't stay here. I can't stay here for real. I said, if I'm already homeless, why am I still here? When my dreams out there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I ended up, I said I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna try to go to college. If I can't go to college, I'm still gonna leave though, regardless. So I applied to like 40 different schools, like for all the kids. Anything is possible, for real. Anything is possible if you want to put your mind to it. I applied to like 40 different schools, probably got like 12 acceptance letters. I was smart, y'all, for real. But I was like, you know what I'm saying? I had like, you know, circumstances. So like when school's picking you out for real, like I wasn't always getting those looks for real. But I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't take that I didn't take no for an answer. Like I didn't care if like if I got an acceptance letter and that joint say, nah, we can't take you, my guy.
Yeah.
Like I was just gonna apply to the next school. Somebody gonna take. Look, somebody gonna take
see your value in whatever you do. So if that means you have to apply for 50 schools, 60, 70, 80, 100, somebody's gonna see your value.
Yeah. So I ended up when I graduate, I walk across the stage or whatever. I'm kind of fucked up for real because I'm like, damn, like I graduated. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't close to my family no more because I'm out here by myself for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They came, and the crazy thing, they came to my graduation, but it was like, you gotta understand, like, can we go there real quick?
We
can. Let's understand. I wanna paint a picture real quick, a real picture. When I graduated, right? When I walked across stage, that's one of your as a kid, that's one of your biggest moments, your biggest accomplishments in life, right? When I graduated, like they came, and I told them because I just felt weird, like, yeah, I'm homeless for real.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it. I'm growing up for real. And my mom used to pass me, like I used to walk to school. She just passed me like I was a regular street nigga for real.
And she could have just took you to school.
Yeah, but I guess she was trying to prove a point or whatever.
Yeah.
That I couldn't make it. So when I graduate, they see me walk across stage, and think about that moment after when the graduation's over. What conversation are we having for real?
Congratulations.
It's like a congratulation, but it's a backhand joint because it's like shorty, like you see me out here. I'm fucked up out here.
Yeah.
And you let me be fucked up and I graduated and we supposed to be excited? Excited for what? Like I graduated, but I don't feel like I made it at all.
Yeah.
For real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was trapped in the crib, but when I got out, now I'm fucked up outside. And you looking at, and you supposed to be the person to take care of me? You looking at me in my face? That shit hurt me for real. So I graduated and I said, man, fuck this. I said, fuck this. I said, man, the only thing I had left was my pride and my dream. Like,
yeah.
I took the first acceptance letter that I had, which is MTSU.
Woo woo.
And the only reason I went there is because like when I'm outside, so I'm outside I'm working at Wendy's, right? I'm 17.
Yeah. What year did you go?
2015, 16.
Okay, because I was trying to see were you there when I was there?
I stayed. I was there. Here. I was there probably from 2015, 2017. Then I stopped because I started working for real. But I was always around though. But you probably came later.
Well, no, I came 2014 and I left 2017.
So you might have seen me, but you might have
probably seen
me, but maybe
were you in the
I was in the common building for real. But I was everywhere for real. Like it's funny if you go to the school now, you see me in the recreation building. Like I'm in the pictures for real.
I was just about to say, did you play basketball in the recreation center?
Yeah, and I played basketball, did the practice team, all that.
I wonder, have we seen each other? Like, you know how you meet somebody in passing and you really don't. I'm pretty sure we probably saw each other, like for real.
Yeah, so I say that to say, they look. So MT sends me an acceptance letter. That's all it is. Right? Now you got to get this paperwork in. You got to do your financial aid, all that. The FAFSA. For those that don't know FAFSA, that's how you get financial aid for those who can't really just pay for school out of pocket, right? So I'm homeless. I ain't got no communication with my mom. She basically tell a nigga like, you know what I'm saying, you on your own. Don't ask me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself type shit, right? So because I'm taking care of myself, she's like, I'm not helping you. You need parental information in order to get FAFSA, for those who don't know. So she was like, basically, fuck that. Like, you got it, nigga. You want to be grown, be grown.
Because you're basically the first generation to go to college.
All right, no. Check this out. This what makes this shit more funny. I'm the youngest. All my sisters are older than me. All them niggas went to college and had an opportunity. All them niggas. And I ain't saying it to be like just them niggas, but it's like, like I'm saying it to be like.
You should have had a little bit more help.
I just felt like she left me out there to dry for real. And I just felt like it just showed me more and more like, nah, like I gotta believe in me. Even when nobody believes, I believe. You feel me? Even when nobody gives a fuck, I give a fuck. You know what I mean? Even when I felt like, you know what I'm saying, people didn't, you know what I'm saying, they didn't care about my life for real. I cared. I cared enough to get the fuck on type shit. I cared enough to get myself out of the environment for real. That's why I said I realized early that I knew. I knew that I really cared for real about where I wanted to be in life. So MT was the only school that really called me and was like, hey, bro, you ain't turning your shit for real. Like, what you doing, bro? You want to come here or not? Like, and like, no school is doing that. No school calling no 17-year-old kid talking about some, hey, gang, you ain't turning your paper for real. Hey, gang, you ain't turning this slip for real. Hey, gang, you ain't do your financial aid on time. Hey, gang, we gonna go ahead and give you an extension. Nah, they was tapping. They was calling me, talking to me as if they was my parents for real. Yeah. And I felt that, and I felt like if I go out there, like, fuck it, okay, cool. I went out there, y'all, and I don't advise this. I went out. I bought me a plane ticket. All I had was an acceptance letter, no financial aid, nothing. So I'm not. It's for those who don't know who never been to college. That don't mean you in school for real. Just because you got an acceptance letter.
Because you got to do the paperwork.
You got to do the paperwork, right? You got to get the money straight. If you ain't got the money, it don't matter. It don't matter if they say you can come here. If you can't pay to be here, you got to go, fam. Type shit. So when I came, dollar in a dream. You ever heard like the saying a dollar in a dream? I had a dollar in a dream. So when I came out, look, this is real talk, y'all. When I came out there, I get off the plane. I don't know nobody. Don't know nothing. Don't know the city I'm in for real, right? I get off the thing. The first thing I think of is I have no place to go. Let's go to the school. So I get an Uber to, I don't get an Uber. I take a bus to this little Green Rover bus to the school. Yeah. I go to financial aid and I start doing that, start trying to do that. But we ran into problems because I didn't have no parental information. Right. So I was paying cash. I ended up getting to school by paying cash, but I was working 3 jobs, working at Wendy's and some factory joints. Eventually, I couldn't pay that shit. They kicked me out of school. I started working. That's kind of how that story go. But what I want to say on here is that in the process of me going to get into school, like y'all, I'm living the dream for it. I'm chasing the dream for it. Even though I'm working at Wendy's, and people don't realize, y'all, like I thought I was doing something. I thought I was big then, because I was like, hey, I got my boss to transfer me down from where I was in Chicago to transfer me here. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing job relocation. I'm thinking I'm big time. I'm working at fast food for real, y'all. $8.25 for real. Yeah. Is that me? Is it? I think. I don't mean to throw nobody off for real. My bad. But what I was gonna say is that when I came down for real, I slept at the homeless shelter. So when I got there, I had no place to stay. Yeah. So I slept at the homeless shelter with like grown folks, and you gotta understand, I'm still 17. I didn't turn 18 until August 29th.
August 29th.
So
okay.
School had been started. So it's like, let's say, because school started like 8.
That's
like
fall
August.
semester.
So yeah, so school start. Let's think about when school starts. School start normally like the 22nd, 23rd, right? So I was still 17 like when I got out here. So I'm sleeping at the homeless shelter, and it was like a rude awakening. Like shit, a lot of shit happened for real. Like I'm sleeping in the homeless shelter. There's times like I go to school. Damn, I get out of school. You know, I go to work. I get off, and I'm trying to make it to the homeless shelter by 5. Yeah. They ain't got enough cots. I'm just out there for real. Yeah. You feel me? So I'm sleeping on pavement. You know, I'm walking just like the homeless niggas walk. Like I'm walking just like the bums, the junkies. I'm living just like they living, right? I'm spending all my check to stay in school. I ain't even got enough money to like wipe my ass for or even afford food. Yeah. So I used to, truth be told, like man, like when I couldn't stay at the homeless shelter, and another thing is that when I stay at the homeless shelter, this they don't tell y'all, man. Y'all think that they just go there. This is a nice place to stay. They sleep on a cot. They give you food. Nah, gang. Let me tell you something. When you go to a homeless shelter for real, it's a bunch of randoms. It could be in everybody from all walks of life. You could be in there with people that used to be doctors. You could be in there with people that are junkies. You could be with people that got emotional stress. You could be in people with, you know what I'm saying, who dealing with other issues, right? Just like I was dealing with my own issues, right? There was a time where like I was like, I think I just turned 18. I had been there. I've been doing this routine, sleeping at the homeless shelter, going to school, that type of shit for like 3 months, right? I remember I was I got in, sleep on this little cot, and I got my bag, and I got a plastic bag underneath my cot, which has all my stuff in it, y'all. Everything I own, everything that I know. Right? I wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning. I see a nigga standing over me, type shit. Trying to take my book bag. You know, and I'm gonna say something. Like, I was 18, like, I didn't know for real. Yeah. You know, I was just in high school. Like I didn't know, like it's a grown ass man for real.
That can really do that or want
he was
to do
so
that.
so truth be told, like he tried to take my book bag and like he put his hand over my mouth, tried to like mute it. Like it was one of those situations. Yeah. And that was the first time in my life where I felt like, damn, like, I'm really by myself for real. Like, I really got to learn how to be me for real. I really got to learn how to survive out here for real. Yeah. And I had to fight for my life. There's numerous cases. And I can tell you about, like, when I couldn't get in the homeless, I turned, like, 19. I got used to sleeping on the street for real. And the reason people going to sit there and get in the comments going to be like, oh, Miguel, how come you didn't just get you, like, an apartment? You got to understand, y'all, like, when 17, 18, like I didn't know how to do nothing. I didn't even have credit for real.
Yeah, I didn't have credit. To say they're gonna look at all of that.
I didn't have a credit. I didn't know how to get a bill in my name. I didn't even know how to get a cell phone because I was still doing like prepaids. Yeah. I was doing prepaids, so I didn't know anything. I was off Wi-Fi for real. If we being honest though, y'all. Yeah. So my situation was a little different. I wasn't making enough to even afford anything at the time. So when I couldn't afford it, I just sleep outside because I didn't have no friends. I had friends, but not like, I could sleep. They sleep in the dorms. Yeah. Can't just sleep in their dorm for real. Right. So, but I had situations. I remember one time I'm sleeping outside. I had got used to sleeping outside, summertime for real. I'm like, probably got to be at 18. I'm sleeping behind like this like Walmart, right? It cut off the wind. I can kind of sleep back there, nobody bother you type shit. I got used to sleeping on pavement, which is crazy. And for those, it's really uncomfortable and it's really cold. And I guess people won't know that because the people don't do that shit for real, right? And I remember one time, it's like, but it's an alleyway. There's a Walmart, there's an alleyway, and it connects to like other buildings or whatever. But it's like it's a dark little alleyway, but nobody come back there for real. Yeah. So I'm asleep, and I just remember like one of the crazy stories of my life, like. I had a dude he was like a junkie for real, like a junkie. First he tried to take my stuff, then he tried to take me. And the thing about this, I tell the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth every time. The thing about it is what really fucked me up was like, it's like I never thought, like I'm being honest, I'm a regular dude. I felt like I was a regular dude. Like most people feel like they're regular individuals. You never think that it could happen to you, but it happened to me. Like I never thought that it, you know what I'm saying, like I got tried for real. And you gotta understand, I'm like 135. I'm not even 130. I'm not even 130 now. I'm like probably like 105, 5'6", 5'7". Yeah. And he was dragging me by my foot deeper into this alleyway. About to do that for real. I'm not gonna give y'all, I'm not gonna say it, but y'all know, put context clues together. Yeah. And I remember, real talk, like I just remember like I really thought I was gonna die for real. Like, and this, I'm trying to make people understand me for real. Like, I got this man. It's like a Lifetime movie. Like I got bro dragging me by my foot deeper into this alleyway where nobody is. You know what I'm saying? I'm 18 years old. I ain't got no family. Nobody. Even if I'm fucked up, I got nobody to call. Right? I thought it was over with, and I was like, bro, like this shit really happening to me. This some shit that happened in the movies.
Yeah.
Nah. And I had to ask myself, like, you either want to. I tell this to my friends all the time, like, and it goes over their head. I know it do. There comes a point in your life where you have to choose. Do you either want to live or do you want to die for real?
Yeah.
And that goes in all aspects. When you homeless for real and it get cold for real, you have to choose. When you sleeping on that pavement outside, do you want to live or die for real? Because you could, like, you know what I'm saying, like when I was broke for real, I went like 11 days without eating before. And when you and I felt death before. When I was getting dragged in the alleyway, I felt like I was gonna die for real, and I had to ask, like, gee, I on some real, on some dumb shit, I could have just right,
yeah.
But I wanted to live for real, and I knew that just me making out of there, it wasn't just good enough to live. This not gonna happen for real. And I just remember I got bit this month. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I bit this month. Hell nah, I wasn't gonna go for this.
Yeah.
I bit bro on some, trying to and do anything I could. Like, he took off. I left my book bag. I left my plastic bag that had my identification cards, social security cards. I had pictures of me as a child. You gotta understand. I'm carrying my life with me. Just said fuck it. Everything. This is all I got left. This is all I got left with the lifestyle I lived in Chicago. Right.
Right.
I just said fuck it. Took off. Left every day. And that didn't look back.
That was smart.
And when I this, if we could talk about this, it'd be really nice. Like when I got out of the situation and I'm on the street for real, like I'm still outside though, still homeless. Don't let them fool you. Like the story normally go like, oh, he make it and there's a happy ending. They ain't
It's a process.
It's a process, but this is the reality though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the reality. The reality is that the situation happened. Yeah, I could have went to the cops, right? But they don't change the fact that I still got to go back out here and sleep outside tomorrow. Right. So when I got out of the situation, this is like 30 minutes after I'm walking, I got nothing to my name no more.
Yeah.
I feel lost for real, and I also feel like I say this to my friends. I cried a lot. I cried a lot of real tears that fell on deaf ears.
Yeah, because nobody knew but you.
Nobody knew, and even and my mom ain't, since I've been out here months. I ain't got one phone call from my mother. I ain't got one phone call from my sister. I ain't got one phone call from nobody. Not even my best friend that was supposed to come with me. But the day we get the ticket to go to Tennessee, I can't go, gang. So when I get out here, I was really by myself for real. There wasn't nobody to call. So when I'm fucked up out here, when I'm traumatized for real of what just happened. That's life though.
It is.
You gotta keep going. I had to say fuck that shit. Nobody cares for real. Nobody gives a fuck for real. In this life, you gotta pick and choose what you're willing to do and what you're willing not to do. If you want to live, you're gonna live. If you're gonna die, you'll die. You're wilt by the weeds. And I had to wipe them tears and get the fuck on and get on with life. And granted that might have made me flawed in some ways, which I can accept. It just is just the reality of my situation. There's a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, where I asked for help. I wanted help. I pleaded for help. Nobody came.
It was just you.
It was just me for real. I'm begging to stay in school. Niggas didn't give I'm telling them, like, I'm fucked up out here. Homeless. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing. I ain't got nothing to my name. I can't even, you need a birth certificate. I ain't, gone.
Yeah.
Come on, let's talk about it. Gone. I need to get a health insurance card. You need a social security card. Where's that at? Gone. You need to get why don't you file for like a state resident or a resident card or whatever, like a state ID. You still need a mail.
And you need to get to that location.
Right.
You need to drive to the location.
Where am I sending the mail to?
Right.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Like this what they not gonna tell y'all. Like, where am I? Like you need all this shit, but where am I gonna send it to? You can't send it to a PO box.
Right.
Let's get that. They're not going for that. So I say that to say, like, in this life, man, you got to pick and choose for it. And I went through a lot, you know what I'm saying, and to get here and to get to this journey. And I think that's what pushed me on my journey to like social media and shit.
Yeah.
And I started taking off on like I started my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It was just something to get my mind away from like what was really going on out here. But I lived that. But I lived an authentic life for real.
Yeah.
A real life, a true life. And even when I started getting millions of views, this is what people don't know. Even when I started getting the views, the millions, right? I end up getting a college apartment. So I turned like 20. I stopped working at the Wendy's. I gave me like a decent warehouse job. I can finally get me a place. I'm old enough. I'm learning, right? Moving on up in the world. Me and my brother staying together. Me and my, you know what I'm saying? He's not my brother, but my brother for real, right? You know what I'm saying? How that started is that, I was homeless. I meet bro. We was hooping together at school. He was like, bro, you should come over and hoop and play the games time. He had just got his first apartment. 6 months go by, you know what I'm saying? We get locked in, bro. Me and him become close, right? So we end up getting our own apartment together. That's how I got that. So when that happens, right, I'm moving up on the world. I start my YouTube channel. I save all my money up. I buy me a little cheap camera, little Canon camera. I start doing the YouTube. My friends at the time, I'm gonna tell some truth real quick. My friends at the time was like, this is before YouTube was popular. My friends was like, you do YouTube, bro, we can't fuck with you.
Damn.
They thought it was corny. They thought, you gotta understand, y'all, nobody, how it's cool now. Everybody do.
It's
nah.
now.
They thought they looked at you crazy back then. You play basketball, bro. You don't. Nah, I said, bro, this the way. This is what everybody on right now. Bro, I can get my story. I can tell people. I can connect with people. You know what I'm saying, across the world. Bro, I'm telling you right now, you do that shit, bro, I can't fuck with you for real. I'm telling y'all, bro, in this life, bro, you got to choose. When it really comes down to it, you got to make decisions, man. I said, fuck them niggas for real. At the end of the day, it hurt though. I had nobody. Y'all got to realize. Let's look at the story here. I had nobody. These are the only people I know, right? My friends, right? These are people that I really count on that they gonna help me. If I go to jail, they gonna be the one to bomb me out, right? If I go to hospital, they gonna be the one to show up, right? They telling me, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking like, I want to do YouTube to express myself for real. Get the message out. Show people who I really was. Remember, because I couldn't do that when I was younger.
Right.
Nah, we can't fuck with you, gang. I said, it hurt. Once again, it hurt. Fucked me up. I'm like, damn, like, why don't nobody see what I see? That's how I used to feel. Why don't nobody see what I see? They see me living this real life. They know I'm out here, right? They know I'm living this real life. And they still not accepting me for me. I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I had to get comfortable with not being liked. I had to get comfortable with being on my own for real. Right? And that's how, and I ended up starting my YouTube, and I just felt I locked in for real because once again, I built a group of friends that just washed away. So now it's just me. So I'm just focusing on my YouTube. YouTube blows up, videos go crazy. I start doing numbers. And it was wild though, is when I started doing numbers, I started getting the notoriety, and everybody on my campus started to know what the fuck was going on. When I started going to other universities, and they knew who I was, and that's when it hit me for real. Damn, you really doing something.
And this was at Fisk University?
Nah, this is at MT.
MT.
You know what I'm saying? I'm lit for real. I had a couple of videos, do numbers. That the president of the university knew who I was, Mr. McPhee or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I'm doing my thing for real. And I was up, but this is what they don't know. So I'm getting millions of views. I'm fucked up though. Let's talk about it. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's the message. That's the message.
Regardless of how many followers you got.
I'm getting millions of views, and I'm still getting eviction notices on my door. Why, Miguel? Because in this life ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? It's all about opportunities, but not everybody get the same opportunity. Right? And not everybody get as many opportunities as the next person. And when I was in my situation, when I finally got my apartment, right? I'm paying my apartment, but I'm also paying thousands to go to school. Remember that, y'all? And I had no financial aid, so I'm paying cash. So anybody watching this, y'all look up how much it costs to go to regular D1 university. Y'all look up how much it costs to go to community college.
Thousands.
And I'm making payments like most people. So I'm paying a car note. I finally got me a little car. I was walking. People, I didn't speak on that, but I was walking miles. And I got me a little Honda Civic with purple windows, doing my thing. I'm living. I'm thinking I'm at the top.
Windows.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. And then but I get the eviction notice because I got behind. They say you got to go. I'm at the pinnacle of my career, y'all. At the top. Celebrities. I didn't see celebrities comment on my videos. I'm like, I'm really doing this shit for real. So proud of and the whole goal was that I wanted to get the point across that no matter my life situation, no matter my circumstance, that my life was worth it, and that I wasn't wrong for betting on myself and chasing my dream. Does that make sense to everybody? Like that. That's what I want people to know. It's not truly just about the struggle. It's just about the fact of at the end of the day, my self-belief in myself, what I felt like I knew, what I felt like I was on, what I felt like I discovered, what I felt like I realized for myself.
Regardless of your environment.
Regardless of my environment, regardless of the situation, regardless of the people that was around me, regardless of people that didn't believe or believed. I believed in myself to the point of like, no matter if I was broke, no matter if I didn't have the food, no matter if, like, I was willing to die for what I believed in. I was willing to die for this dream I have.
Yeah.
And when I got the views and I was getting the millions, bro, like, it was lit, but I was fucked up still. And I ended up getting sleeping. I had a car now, so I'm sleeping in my car. Back out here. Sleeping in my car, sleeping at Walmart. I end up, and I have been sleeping in the sand. I'm going to school, I'm working. That's the thing though. Just because you homeless, just because you fucked up, don't mean you're not trying to do better for yourself.
Yeah.
So like, I want to get that out there too. Like, people be in situations still be working though, for real. They be homeless, people still working. They just can't, you know what I'm saying? Based off their circumstance, what they doing, it might be different for them. I'm sleeping at the Walmart in my car. I guess some people have been watching my car for days because I go to the same spot, getting a little routine, right? This is my normal. I've been homeless before, but I ain't never had a car, so I'm stepping up low key. I had a place, but I'm like, you feel me? So I guess they plotted on me. They actually broke in my car while I was in the car, and they pulled a pistol out on me. Like, and I'm like, then I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm like, damn, I just can't catch a break for real.
Right.
Like I said, this shit just can't happen to me. Think about it. I'm saying, like, for real. Like, I say I'm a street nigga because I lived in the streets. I don't portray to be gangster. You know, I do the things based off the life that I've lived.
Just trying to survive.
Trying to survive. I never played gangster though. And my thing is the way, so I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't selling dope for real. Like, I was working a 9 to 5, going to school. Like, right. So they broke in and they put the pistol. It's everything I got. Like, they took my laptop, my camera, got all my sneakers in there. All my sneakers, my clothes, my shoes, my wallet. Once again, all that shit gone. Right? And as it's going, I want y'all to know something. As I'm getting robbed, for real, I had to make a choice. And we talked about this earlier. You got to choose to want to either live or die. And I chose to live, but I also said, like, at what point, remember, I spoke of this earlier, like, I used to lay down for real. When I said lay down, it's a metaphor for saying, like, I didn't really stick up for myself.
Yeah.
At what point does that change? At what point do you say, man, enough's enough? At what point do you say, man, y'all really, like, come on now. Y'all can tell I'm in a fucked up position and y'all still, y'all gonna do it to me.
Yeah.
Nah. In that moment, like I said, like, a lot of things could have happened. They could have shot me. They could have, you know what I'm saying? They could have did whatever. Like, and I'm not saying this to portray no lifestyle. This is just my lifestyle. This is just my life and my reality. Yeah. You know, I got out the car, I got on the ground or whatever, they taking on my, I get up, and as soon as bro turn around, I start fighting for my life, fighting for everything I believe in, fighting for all I had left. I'm at the pinnacle of my career, mate, like seeing the millions. My laptop, my camera, getting took. I spent years trying to save up to get this shit so I could do this shit, just for it to get taken in about 5 minutes. Nah, y'all gonna have to really do it to me for real.
Yeah,
I done been fucked up too long. Yeah. I done been fucked up for real. I done been fucked up so much. It's like I can't cry no more for real. Yeah, it just hurt. I'm just hurt. I'm just hurt because it's like, man, like, I'm really trying. I'm really still trying to go to school.
Yeah.
When nobody could give a fuck if I go to school or not. I'm really still trying to work a 9 to 5 and be productive in society. When they would probably look at me as a menace. I'm really trying to chase the dream and not be an average, even though I'm going through hard circumstances. And y'all gonna rob me? Hell no. At this point, it is what it is. If I go out this way, at least look, I went out and I tried. And that pill right there, not everybody gonna swallow that pill.
Yeah.
But also, not everybody gonna get to the realization of their life and realize, are they willing to do that though? Most people, if somebody ever pulled a gun on you, most people, they're in fear for their life.
Just surrender, yeah.
They're gonna surrender. But I felt like when you in situations, like, what was I didn't got dragged in alleyways. I didn't seen people try to kick, like, rob me before. Like, I didn't been out here with the junkies. I didn't seen people OD. What else am I missing here? I didn't ate out of trash cans. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all, this the reality, this the real. When I couldn't afford, when I was paying to stay in school and I couldn't afford, I worked at Wendy's, right? So I'm I just wait till they throw all the food away. And I knew I worked there, right? So I know they put in a little bag, whatever. They double up the bag. They throw in the thing. Man, what? It's not like I just say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go in there and grab that. Nah. I look at my account and realize that I was negative $400 because I just paid off my school or whatever. Or I just put gas in my car. I had to make life decisions. Right? I go 3 days, don't eat nothing. All right. I eat on campus, we know when I can. But you still eat most of it. If you don't got no meal plan.
Right.
If you don't got no meal plan, what you doing? You got to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cash. Right? So, and if I ain't even work, so I said, man, the reality set in. Man, I'm like I'm skinny now.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't nothing to burn for real. So I come to the realization, like, you got to come back to reality, my situation. You got to what? Either want to live or die.
We're going to have to do a part 2. We got to do a part 2.
Yeah, go ahead.
This was a great conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I really appreciate you coming on my podcast and just showing your story. It's a beautiful story. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to swap numbers just so we could, connect on a deeper level because I love your drive. I love your confidence. I love your motivation. And I love how strong you are.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to know where they can find you, your YouTube, what are your social media handles?
All right, my social media handle is They Call Me Miguel. And They Call Me Miguel on Instagram. YouTube is They Call Me Miguel. You can find me on Twitter at They Call Me Miguel. TikTok is They Call Me Miguel. Mm-hmm. And if I can say anything else before we get up out of here, is just, man, at the end of the day, I'm going to say something. This is my life mantra. On the road to dream chasing, not everybody going to see your vision. Not everybody going to see your dream. Sometimes you got to get off on that road and drop some people off because they wasn't meant to go where you going. Never stop being you. Never stop loving you. And don't feel like you need to apologize for being you. 1,000.
I love that. If y'all like any of these topics that we talked about or want to get to know Miguel a little bit more, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Or you can also follow his YouTube as well. He's doing pretty good.
Check out the docuseries for real.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to have to check it out.
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, you got to watch that. You got to watch that. You got to watch that for real.
But until next time, guys, okay? Bye.